And every day, my wife is giving me shit. All my friends giving me shit. My coworkers giving me shit. But goddamn it, these horses are cool.
I just said they just don't know how fucking cool these horses are.
They
That's the
just don't
issue.
know. They just
They
don't
don't
know.
know. Rest
I
in
try. I
peace
start.
to
I start
most of the
spouting
list.
facts about Haru Rah Rah at work, and they just look at me like I'm an asshole. So
They listen. Put them onto this episode.
maybe if I showed up wearing the official Haru Rah Rah bra.
Maybe not. You don't. I don't. You don't have to wear the bra. There's other merch of her.
No, I'm going with the bra.
Hello. Welcome back to a very special episode of Time Well Meant, the number one podcast for honoring dark princes, both alive and not in this world anymore. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. If you're new to the rest in power. If you're new to the podcast, or if you're joining us for the first time, we like to talk about a number of different things. We like to talk about the goings-ons of the internet. We like to talk about video games, and most importantly, we like to talk about mental health and how that affects our everyday lives. However, this is episode 30, and if you're joining us again, and you've been a part of this for however many times we've done this now, like 6 or I don't even know how many it's been. This is a very special episode. This is a little bit unique. We take a break from all of the doom and gloom of the world. And we talk about a really weird niche topic that we just so happen to be hooked on. This one is going to be an interesting one. But before I get into that, my name is Silas, and I need to introduce, again, returning to the show for a 30th time, just a world-class horse trainer. Kirby, how are you doing, buddy?
Am I the longest running guest the show has ever had? Wow. Man, what an honor. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me again. I'm happy to join the Time Well Meant family and crew here. And yes, I am a world-class horse trainer. That S rank is still eluding me, but she's coming soon.
What are you maxing out at? Are you at A rank?
I've gotten 2 A's.
Oh my
I've
God.
only gotten 2 A's.
You're a maniac, dude. I'm not even up there. I think I have like 2 B's.
And for the record, we'll put it on the record right now. Let the court know I've spent $20 on that video game.
Oh my goodness. You're a whale, dude.
I'm a whale.
Unbelievable. Well, again, this is a very special episode. Kirby, so I guess let me dial it back just a second. We switch off. We go back and forth between who has these special episodes. Episode 35 will be Kirby's. It's going to be a bit of a chilly episode, so keep that in mind. Really, really excited about that. I keep getting DMs from him over and over, and it's just more and more information. It's so great. But this one is mine. It's my turn. I was up late into the evening hours researching this last night, and I'm pretty excited because it's a pretty interesting topic. We're going to be talking about Umamusume. So obviously we mentioned horse training, but we're going to be talking about not so much the characters themselves. We're going to be talking about the actual horses that the characters are based off of. So for those of you who don't know, Umamusume, otherwise known as Umamusume Pretty Derby, is a mobile game. It's also on PC. It's a horse racing game. It was released 4 years ago in Japan, and it's taken the world by storm. People love it. A lot of cool, popular characters have come out of it, and in finding out that these horses were based on real horses, it kind of intrigued both Kirby and I to want to do a little research into into the real life horses. If you saw last episode, you get a sneak peek, and we talked about a certain little loser girl that runs around the track and does it quite well. So or poorly, I guess it depends on how you want to look at it. So she's
bit of both.
She's a bit of both. But yeah, so Kirby gets to sit back in this one and just enjoy all of the information that I have. Just a brief overview. It's going to be just a quick summary of Japanese horse racing, then we'll get into the horses. Kirby, if at any point in time you have questions, I might be able to answer. I don't know. This a lot of this is still fresh in my mind. So,
all right. I'm so excited for this. I've definitely been playing this stupid game that I can't stop playing every day. Just try and get Super Creek one level higher. So, tell me what I need to know.
All right, let's get started. So, to give a basic summary, horse racing in Japan is organized. Well, I guess okay. Let me dial it back. Horse racing in Japan has been a long-standing thing since the early 1900s. The 1930s is when they really started getting organized, and it's organized by two distinct groups, that being the JRA, which is the Japanese Racing Association, which was founded in 1959, and the NAR, which is the National Association of Racing, which was founded in 1962. Now, the JRA manages the 10 tracks that are known as and I'm going to say these in their mother tongue, or in their mother names or whatever. Please don't beat me up for saying these so terribly. But they're known as the Chuokiba, which translates to Central Horse Racing. It's basically the main 10 horse tracks that are in Japan, those being the Tokyo, Nakayama, Kyoto, Hanshin, Sapporo, Hakodate, Fukushima, Niigata, Chukyo, and Kokura race courses. So those are the 10 main ones. I started doing, when I was listing out some of the main races, I started looking at like, okay, where are these races held? Way too fucking complicated. There's so many race courses and mixing and matching. So you're just going to hear me refer to the races. JRA, which you'll either hear me refer to them, and I don't really refer to them that much in this, but if I do, you'll hear about it mostly for the awards side of it, I guess, is when you'll hear me refer to them. But the JRA is the most prominent horse, like they hold the most prominent horse races in Japan. Typically, the average purses or awards for these races are averaging out at about 9.5 million yen, which translates to about $122,000. Mind you, this is the medium. And then with the first prize taking home about 5 million of that, which translates to about 59,000 USD. However, at the highest end, those race purses begin at about 74.6 million yen, which translates to $882,000. And with the most prominent race being the Grade 1 Japan Cup, which happens in November, that purse for the Japan Cup is 476 million yen, which translates to $5.6 million, right? So big money at play here. This is for just one race, right? Anyway, so the top stakes are usually run in spring, autumn, and winter, with the top race being, of course, the Japan Cup. You'll hear that one. Anytime you hear that one, that's like that's the race. That's the Super Bowl of races in Japan. Some other notable races, obviously, if you've played the game, you've probably heard of the Tenno Sho, the Arima Kinen, and the Takarazuka Kinen. All of those being Grade 1 races, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But really quickly, just wanted to mention the NAR. They mostly control the local racing scene. That's called Chiho Kiba, which translates to local horse racing. And they're mainly organized. They mainly organize dirt graded events. So like most of obviously the JRA will still have some dirt races, but it's mostly going to be on turf, whereas the NAR, which are, again, the more local ones, are going to be the ones that are run on dirt. So really quickly, we need to talk about the grading system. This is really important to understand how prestigious some of these race wins are. You have to understand, these races aren't just like in Japan, right? Some of these are internationally big races on a grander scale, right? So Japan uses the grade race system, which divides into 4 categories based on prestige and quality. Grade 1 is the highest level, which is of major international importance. Examples of this would be like the Japan Cup and the Japanese Oaks, which is also known as the Yushin Himba. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I want to say that the Kentucky Derby is also considered like a Grade 1 race. Or would be considered essentially if it's on that system a grade. It's basically these are internationally the biggest races, right? These are the number one. Usually a lot of these are invitation only, or you have to be chosen to be, to get into these races, or you have to qualify. I know with Japanese Oaks, there's a Grade 2 race that you actually have to qualify in called the Japanese Oaks Trial to even get into the Japanese Oaks. So that sort of thing is usually involved, right? Grade 2 races are of significant international importance as well, but they're below the championship standards. Examples of this would be the Manichi Oken and the Japanese Oaks Trial. Then you have Grade 3. These are other races of note, but they're usually going to be of national importance rather than international importance. Some examples of this would be the Kokura Kinen and the Tanabata Show. And then The fourth category are called listed races. These races are the standard grade, or group races, but they're still they're below the standard graded or group races, but they're still raced by horses of notable merit and performance quality. So yeah, there's a quick overview of Japanese races or horse racing, I should say.
Okay.
So yeah, so you kind of understand.
A few questions, if I could.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, when you referred to these 555 million yen purses, that's the total prize pool amongst all of the winners?
Yes. And usually I didn't really figure out how they're dividing up because each purse is different and each purse is divided up differently. So I don't know if they're getting a percentage. I just kind of found the average.
I was just curious if that was like all races, the total combined kind of pot of winnings.
No, you're usually getting like first, second, and third place are taking away obviously the highest amount of that purse.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's smaller returns. With a couple of the horses that we're going to talk about today, I'll mention some of their purse winnings, and you'll kind of get an idea about how much money these horses are winning. Because some of them only have maybe like under 30 races in their career. Like we talked about Harurara, and she had 113 versus other horses who only ran in just a couple races, but then still made, 500 million yen. Right. So, with just a few races. It's always going to be a little bit different with how the purses work, at least as far as I was able to research. So I will say, when I was doing research, I want you to take some of this with a grain of salt. I'll kind of mention when some of them are a little bit unconfirmed. There are stories of certain things happening with horses or certain information that I was able to find that was it was a little bit harder to confirm than others. A lot of this information I was able to confirm, but I'll mention, if there was something, it's very few things. A lot of this is like pretty straightforward to the facts.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to stay pretty true and honest to these horses and give them the credit they deserve, right?
No lies here today.
No lies here. Well, maybe one or two. We'll see.
Minimal lying.
Reduction of lying here today. All right, let's get into our first horse. So you guys will see on screen, unless you're on Spotify, then you can't see shit. You guys will see on screen when I talk about these horses. I'm going to show Kirby a picture. We'll talk about the horse themselves, and then here in just a moment, I'll actually throw up the character as well. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about our first horse. This is Air Groove. Yeah. Nice. So there's Air Groove. That's the horse. Air Groove.
It's the way the announcer says it.
Oh,
look at her.
So good. This is her character represented in the game. She is a he. Oh, no, she's a her. She's a her. Sorry.
Oh, she's a she.
She's a she.
Good. Cool.
So she was foaled. I guess I need to mention this other thing. So instead of saying giving birth, a lot of you're going to hear a lot of horse talk. Okay. Yep. I will try to explain them as I get to them. You're going to hear the words sire, dame, grandsire, like they're all you're going to hear foaled a lot, colt and foal. Foaled basically just means that she was born, or he was born at whatever year. So if you hear me say, this, Air Groove, for instance, was foaled in 1993. Okay. That's what I mean when I say that. So anyways, Air Groove was foaled in 1993. Her first race was the Icho Stakes in 1995, where she finished first. So obviously she got off to a strong start. She won her first grade 1 win at the Yushin Himba in 1996. That's the Japanese Oaks. If you've played the game, you probably know it better as that. In 96, she won the Sapporo Kennen in the Grade 1 Tenno Show. In 97, she placed second at the Japan Cup and third at the Arima Kennen. And then her final race was in 1998, where she came in fifth at the Arima Kennen. So another thing I need to mention too is that, and I didn't really mention this, I'll mention it when it's important. Horses basically begin their careers at 3 years old, like race horses, or I'm sorry, anywhere but from 2 to 3 years old. Because there are some that have 2-year careers or 2-year-old careers. But the 3-year-old career is basically the prime career. There's an award given for best 3-year-old, which is a weird award to get. I'll mention those awards as they're given. Usually the oldest running, or the oldest that I saw was a 6-year-old. I think after that they've kind of run their prime. I don't think I saw at least any of the horses on this list made it very far into their 6-year career. And this is just for Japan. I didn't do any sort of, there's horse racing that takes place internationally. And there are horses on this list that ran internationally. And so I never really got to see how they did it. We're just kind of sticking with Japanese horse racing. Her final race was in 1998. Overall, she ran in 19 races with a record of, I guess this is the other thing I need to mention. You'll hear me do the placement record, okay? The way that the placement records work is you have first place finishes, second place finishes, and third place finishes. Her placement record was 9, 5, and 3. So she got 9 first place finishes. A couple of interesting facts. In her family line, for 4 generations, they've won G1 races. So she has 4 generations of G1, grade 1 race winning horses, right? Both her and her mother both actually won the Japanese Oaks, which is just kind of an interesting little tidbit. Weird that happened. Like they were both able to pull it off. In the show, she's actually portrayed as having a dislike for flashing lights. And this is due to a real life incident where she got way too excited by camera flashes at the Shuka show. And she lost that race in 10th place. So kind of an interesting little tidbit. Like from what I was reading, they actually ended up, and again, this is one of those things where I was like, I don't know how true this is because I couldn't find too much more on that. But from what I was reading because of that race, they actually changed the rules for camera flashes. So like they banned them. So you can't take flash photography at these races because it spooked the horses. So kind of an interesting little tidbit. In the show, she's known as Empress, and that's kind of a just weird little thing. But yeah, she's a cool horse. Yeah. And so that's just a little tidbit about her, but I have a lot of horses. Do you have any questions?
Okay, real quick. I'm curious. I forgot my question. Is that a lot of wins based on kind of the average of these horses? Is she a real winner, or is she pretty average?
For the average, I would say that's pretty good. You'll see kind of like double digit wins are pretty solid, but the thing about it is you have to understand, again, like the highest number of races, like, again, I have to go back to Haru Urara because she's a very special, like, no other horse is running as much as she is, right? A lot of these horses retired pretty early in their career, right? They had a nice career, and then, and that career may have only been like 30 races. The thing about it is, too, is you have to understand, if they're winning at a really high caliber, they're really only racing for these very specific races. We'll also talk about there's 1 or 2 specialized racers where basically they performed really well in certain races, but did horribly in others. Excuse me. And we'll also kind of touch on strong suits or things like it's weird. I don't know. Cause some of the horses, they like, the next horse that we're going to talk, or no, sorry. In 4, the fourth horse on this list only ran 17 races. So like, but it's basically up to, were they able to stay healthy? How well they performed, their consistency. There's a number of factors that kind of say that.
I got you. Okay. So remind me one more time here. What was her total number of races?
So she ran in a total of 19 races with a record of 9, 5, and 3.
Oh, but out of 19, I mean, getting first place 9 times.
Yeah, that's pretty
half
solid.
Your career, basically. First place, pretty damn good.
Yes. So not terrible. She definitely
what a girl.
She was a girl. She did it. And the thing about it is, with at least with Umamusume, that I've kind of noticed is a lot of the horses that I picked, and I kind of picked a mix of horses. I picked some fan favorites. I picked the favorites that you chose. A couple other horses that are just kind of interesting. A lot of them have really solid records. They won some really prestigious races. And they're also kind of spread out throughout time. I think one of the horses was born in 1974. So like we go back a little ways to talk about, but then like the oldest horse was 2009. So, the latest horse, I guess. So anyway, they're kind of spread out throughout time, which the show mentions sometimes, and kind of, and that's why you have these like relationships of like, oh, this horse is or like this horse girl is actually the mother of this horse girl, but it's, it was actually because there was just, it's just because these horses are, kind of sprinkled throughout time.
Checks out.
So yeah.
Sick, dude. Go Air Groove.
So Air Groove, solid little horse. We're moving on to number 2. And I want you to imagine this as kind of a race, right? That these horses are running along, and these are their, these are them lined up in the paddocks. All right,
exactly.
This is right before the race goes. So we have a good race here for you folks. So anyways, next up in the line is going to be Oguri Cap. She was foaled in 1987. Out of the 32 races that, and this is a boy, by the way, but out of the 32 races that he won, 22 of them included 4 grade 1 stakes. 2 of them were grade 2 stakes and 4 of them were grade 3 stakes. So he won some pretty prestigious races.
Like across the board.
Yeah. So the grade 1 races. Oh, and when I say stakes, that's how they refer to the races themselves. I don't know why. I didn't really bother to ask that much. That's just what they refer to them as. That's what I put them down here as. So like, okay, that makes sense. Some of the biggest wins that he won, or some of the biggest races that he won, were the Mile Championship, the Ari McKinnon, the Yasuda Keenan, and the Yasuda Keenan, and those are all G1 races. So pretty big races. The Mile Championship being definitely a really big race in that. In 1988, he won the JRA, and this is what I'm talking about with awards. He won the JRA award for Best 3-Year-Old Colt, and in 1990, he won the JRA Best Older Male Horse and Horse of the Year. So a really winning horse right here. You know what I mean? So he got to get some wins. In 2007, he was retired to stud duties, which you'll see a lot of these horses end up doing. A lot of these horses, once they're retired, especially if you have a good gene pool, right? You got a lot of wins on your back. Now you're getting studded out. Okay.
You get rewarded.
Yeah. You spend your life just spreading your seed. So in 2007, unfortunately though, so Oguri Cap, he found a lot of success in his career. However, he was never able to produce a racer of his caliber. Lord knows he tried, but none of his offspring ever really made any impactful or ever won any impactful races. And in 2010, unfortunately, he fractured one of his tibias, one of the tibias in his leg, from an apparent pasture accident, and he was subsequently euthanized because of it. So rest in peace, Oguri Cap. That's the thing, man. And I'll tell you what, doing research was really hard for some of these, especially this next horse coming up. God, I didn't want it. I was like so sad for no reason, for good reason. They're very sad things. But yeah, a lot of these horses, it's a natural part of it. I think the oldest horse on our list today is like 29, but that's you're pushing it, right?
What's the second oldest? Do you know?
I think 23. 23 is
closer than I was expecting.
Yeah. So anyway, unfortunately, he was euthanized because of that. And in his racing days, he was known as the Gray Monster. And this is kind of translated into his anthropomorphized counterpart with Oguri Cap, which I fucking forgot. I'm already off to a horrible start. I got to show you pictures. Here's Oguri Cap, the horse, that beautiful gray monster.
Oh, okay.
And then so you can see the translation of Oguri Cap having long flowing gray hair. Yeah. So, and so funnily enough, this is another story that, supposedly there's rumors about this, but in the anime, Oguri Cap is portrayed as being quite gluttonous. And apparently this is inspired by the real life horse, whose team said that he did nothing but eat and sleep after races. So interesting little tidbit. And it's funny too, because we'll talk a little bit more about it. There's quite a few real life examples of the horse being one kind of way or having these little, kind of things going on that translate into the anime, which is always cool to see represented. So
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love to imagine him just winning races and then just kicking back and eating.
Yum. Just eating.
And sleeping.
Dude. Great. Living his best life. Rest in peace, Oguri Cap. Oh my goodness. All right. Moving on. This is my favorite horse. And this is the saddest one to me. Number 3 is Silence Suzuka. This horse, oh my God. Oh goodness. So he was foaled in 1994, and he's most known for being basically unbeatable on turf. And in 1998, he was basically like the top turf horse. Like he was killing it on turf. Basically, most, if not every race that he won, he would lead the pack by multiple horse lengths. In a single year, he won the Takarazuka Kinen, the Manishi Oken. Oh, I'm sorry. So I guess I should mention the Takarazuka Kinen is a G1 race. He won the Manishi Oken, the Kinko Show, the Nakayama Kinen, all of those being G2 races, and the Kokura Daishoten. Sorry, some of these I need to speak slower on. Harder to say. Yeah. All of those previous ones were G2 up until that last one, which is a G3 race. So big races all in one year. Those are some big fucking wins. So he had his first year, he kind of started off slow. His trainers had to work with him a little bit. They clearly didn't see his strong suits. But once they figured it out in his second year, he was fucking zooming, man. He was absolutely destroying on turf, getting win after win. And then came just the most heartbreaking part of his career. He had such a strong second year in his career, but unfortunately he suffered an injury at the 1998 Tenno show, which cut his career short. And essentially what happened is upon rounding the final corner at the Tenno show, his pace sort of drastically changed. And here's what I need to tell you. I watched this fucking video and it is so sad, dude. His pace drastically changed. And I mean, he was holding an extremely dominant lead throughout the entire race. He ran the first 1,000 meters in 57.4 seconds. He was killing it. He was zooming, dude. But unfortunately, he suffered an injury. And apparently what happened is that he crushed his front leg. And the injury was deemed on the spot to be too severe to treat. And he was taken during the race to a medical tent and euthanized there at the race.
What?
Yes, he was actually euthanized basically on the spot. They were able to figure out his injury and then euthanize him basically there. So that, because essentially what I've kind of learned about certain horse injuries is it's such a painful recovery. There are certain horses that did suffer from other leg injuries and were able to recover, but certain ones like if it had been a fracture, it would have been something that he would have been able to bounce back with some recovery time, but he shattered his fucking leg. It was apparently a really, it was an injury bad enough that he had to be euthanized then and there. It was just, there was no way, because here's the thing is like, he would not be able to live a comfortable life after that. This is how I'm understanding it. Whether he could have been, live in a pasture but it could have been a money thing. Not too sure how the logistics of that worked, but from what I understand, it was just deemed then and there. It was going to be there was no way he would race again, essentially. Yeah. At the race.
First of all, get me a picture.
Yes,
Second of all,
here's a picture of Silence.
That's insane, man. I'm imagining, because I know these owners put tons of time and money and resources into these horses and their training and the racing and etc. And you have this horse who's just a badass demon, wrecking, winning every race. And then he just, you wake up one day thinking, all right, we're going to win another one. Easy money, right? And then he just, falls down. All right, go put him down.
Yeah, he was the favorite in that race, or one of the favorites in the race.
I'm sure.
I mean, he had been absolutely destroying. He was, oh my God, he was so good. So I actually, again, I have it in my notes here that I watched the race and it made me so sad. I almost cried. I'm not going to put it up. It's not even that it's hard to watch. I think if you didn't know what a horse injury looked like, because it really doesn't, you just see him start to change pace. You see him slow down drastically. And then you kind of figure out that something's wrong. And honestly, I'm just glad he's not in pain, or I hope that he wasn't in pain for too long. Again, man, it's one of the darker sides of horse racing that I've kind of figured out, that some of these injuries or some of the things that happen to these horses, it's like they either can't help them or they won't. I don't really, again, I probably should have done a little bit more research on horse injury, but it's not something it's something I didn't think about at the time. So
Well, keep note, I'm a human doctor. I'm not a veterinarian, but I've heard that just because of the way horses are built, like it's all the kind of mass on top standing on the legs,
Yeah.
that if you get a serious leg injury, just like you said, like even if they recover, they might be in pain for the rest of
Yeah.
their life.
Yeah.
So it's definitely dark, like you said. I'm not gonna condone or condemn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
But
here's the
dude,
thing.
he's beautiful.
Yeah, these horses are bred for this. Yeah, pictures of both of them. Are I should have hopefully editor me should have put them up. Gorgeous horse, extremely talented. And here's the thing: these horses are bred for this one thing, right? They're bred specifically to race. Whether you think it's humane or not is kind of up to you. I just find it really interesting. I find their careers really interesting. I find their achievements very interesting. And it's just an interesting kind of thing. I think that, it is very sad. It is super sad.
Yeah.
I do like those. So the last little bit about Silent Suzuka, in the anime, the injury is actually recreated, except for in this case, the girl version, the anime girl version suffers a fracture and is able to recover and make a comeback and win her returning race. So it's like this kind of cool moment of like, he gets to live on in spirit, in an anime spirit, and get to have his comeback race that I think a lot of fans would have wanted, because he was just incredible, man. Like I watched a couple of his races and he was fucking good, man. He was so dominant, and I was like, oh, he's my favorite character. She's my favorite character. Whatever. The horse is a boy, the character's a girl, whatever. Best horse, both in real life and in the anime. And
let me ask you this.
Yes, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that he serves as one of the main characters in the anime, so it's kind of cool that again he was get to brought back in that.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did Silence and Marozinski ever race?
No, they were definitely in a different era.
Good.
I don't think Marozinski.
Silence would have lost. Oh yeah.
Actually, when I tell you some facts about Marozinski, that actually might be true. Well, I'm spoiling my list a little bit, but you already knew that he was on here. Yeah. Now that would have been a good race, though. I would have loved to see that. Too bad we only ever see it now in Umamusume, but it's better than nothing. All right, moving on. Our number 4 horse is going to be Special Week. I included Special Week because Special Week is the main character of the Umamusume anime. If you watch the show, the 2 main characters of season 1, from what I haven't watched the show, but the 2 main characters are Silent Suzuka and Special Week. They're the ones who have the most focus. I believe season 2 is different, and I have that horse on here, I think. I can't remember. Anyways, let's get in Special Week. Special Week was foaled in 1995. Of the 17 races that he was in, he won 10. 4 of those were grade 1 races. And his official placement record was 10, 4, and 2. So pretty solid. Special Week was definitely killer. Good horse. So some of his notable wins are the Japanese Derby, the Tenno Show twice, once in spring and once in autumn, and the Japan Cup. And his dame sire is Marozinski. So let's explain this.
Here we go.
I want you to understand.
Family trees here on Time Well Meant.
Yes, I want you to understand. This is really hard for me. My brain, I knew I was going to have to explain this, and my brain is still already like doing, the gears are turning and spinning all at once. So you have your sire, which is the dad. You have the dame, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. It might be dam, but it's spelled D-A-M, but I've been saying dame. You have the dame, which is the mother. You have the grandsire, I believe, which is the father's father. You have the grand dame, I think, which is the father's mother. You have the dame sire, which is the mother's father. And then there's another one for grandmother that I don't remember. Anyways, I think I got that right. I know that dame sire and grandsire are fathers. Anytime you have sire in it, that means boy. So the dame sire Marazinski is Special Week's grandfather on
That's right.
his mother's side. Very, very cool
Good
fact.
genes.
Yes, Marazinski has some great fucking genes. And Marazinski was fucking. We'll talk about it later. Anyways, he also sired Sunday Silence. Special Week did. Sorry, moving back to Special Week. Fuck, I gotta include pictures. Here's a picture of Special Week. The horse.
I keep trying to figure out how I can like politely remind you to do it when you
Give
start
me the
talking.
picture,
You're
bitch.
so excited.
I get so excited about the horses themselves. This is the horse. This is Special Week, and this is how Special Week is represented in the anime. Cool little.
Am I looking at a boy or a girl?
That's a girl. These are all
Nice.
girls. Oh, girls. The horse is a boy. Horse is a boy.
God damn, you just said.
Well, you said you're looking at a girl and she's got short hair, so I was like, do you not know that that's a girl? Yes, the boy horse. There's only a few girls on this. I guess I need to remember. Most of these horses are boys. Most of these are boy horses.
Okay. So Japanese
anyways.
racing is misogynist too.
No, it's just a lot of boy horses. Anyways, but so he sired a horse named Sunday Silence, who won the Kentucky Derby in 1989. Kind of a cool little fact. I think I might have that. Oh no, was sired by Sunday Silence. I had that mixed up. His dad won the Kentucky Derby because I was like, how do I have these years wrong? His dad won the Kentucky Derby in 1989. Cool little factoid. But he had a pretty successful career, and he was retired in 1999, where he was sent to Shaddai Stallion Station to be a stud. So pretty cool. His most successful offspring is a mare named Buena Vista. There's a girl. A little girl there. Buena Vista won 6 Grade 1 races, including the Tenno Show and the Japan Cup. So very successful daughter. He had plenty of other successful kids. That's just kind of the most successful offspring that Special Week had. So in the anime, Special Week is one of the main 3 characters between season 1 and 2, who dreams of being Japan's #1 horse girl. Kind of interesting.
Crazy.
Yeah. In the anime, she's also portrayed as having a big appetite, but the real horse apparently was not very gluttonous. Pretty average horse. And he died at the age of 22, so he did live a good long life, but he did sustain an injury where he fell in his paddock in 2018. Not too sure the details on that, but apparently he fell and messed his leg up or something. But I'm not too sure about his injuries, but.
By 2018, at 22 years of age, he wasn't racing anymore.
No,
so
he was long retired. He retired in 1999.
Yeah.
He had been retired for 19 years. Yeah, I think So he was retired for a very long time. And apparently he died shortly after episode 5 of season 1 of the anime aired. So he didn't even get to finish season 1.
Oh, he didn't even get to finish his arc.
Yes, no. So a little sad, but pretty
Rest in
pretty
peace.
interesting. Rest in peace. Another pretty one. We're gonna be saying rest in peace a lot. A lot of these horses are dead.
I've never looked at horses so much as I have in the past 40 minutes that we've been recording this. They're pretty.
They are very. You know what? I've been telling my girlfriend over and over, like, we need to get a fucking horse. Doing research on horses makes me like. It makes me want one even more. You can't
afford that. Sorry, buddy. You can't afford that.
Well, even it's not even a matter of affording it. It's like, do I want to take care of the fucking horse? There's so much that goes into horses with like their diet and what you like. Just watching horseshoe fitting videos alone and like the maintenance that. Why can't I think of the name of those guys that take care of horse feet? Fuck, I can't remember their names now. I have watched so many of those videos, but just watching that, I'm like, no thanks. No thanks. It's a dream. I can dream, okay? Someday
you'll be rich enough.
I don't know about that, Chief, but someday
once the sponsor check for this episode clears.
There you go. Now we're talking. All right, moving on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yo, go ahead.
I actually want to derail you for one moment because this is something in my very limited, it was not aimed research like yours. I wasn't trying to find this info. This is just info I've come across.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some. Correct me here if you happen to know info about in Japan they wouldn't let like American racehorses come in at all.
I'll touch on that later.
Okay, so can you tell me? I'm curious how you said that a Japanese horse won the Kentucky Derby in, would you say 89?
So, oh wait, you're saying that American horses?
You said Sunday's granddad. won the Derby?
Dad. So the
Dad.
breeding happened internationally. The horses being born where, like, I'm not too sure how this happens. This is one thing I don't know exactly.
Okay. That's okay.
I don't know how. I just know that he did win. I can fact check myself right now.
But he got to compete, which is cool.
He got to compete, yes. And I think there's certain races that allow for international horses, but then there's some races where they and this is when, what's funny is I was gonna write a whole section about the restrictions within horse racing, but I was like, fuck that, I don't need that shit within Japan, because there are certain restrictions that are in horse racing. When we get to Marzinski,
I think I know
Yeah.
that bit that's coming there. Yeah.
And so there's certain things that, and I don't understand the logistics of it. What I've come to kind of understand is some of these horses weren't Japan born, but they were Japan born, but the way that they were bred was they had the stallion, or they had their stud come either overseas or they visited overseas and then brought to Japan to then be born on Japanese soil to then race in Japanese races. How that works, I don't know. I don't know the logistics of how they were born in places, how they were able to race in these races. And again,
Okay.
I don't know too much about international horse racing. I could tell you a weird amount about Japanese horse racing for some reason. But I don't really understand the logistics of, and again, I probably should have, and funnily enough, man, doing this makes me kind of want to do a part 2 to this, because there were so many horses. I was, oh man, one of my little factoids, I don't know if I ever wrote it down in, so in the, game of Umamusume, or I'm sorry, and that's in the Japanese version, I believe there's 113 raceable horses.
Oh, shit.
That are all based on real life Japanese racehorses, and that's not even including like their top dog horse. Okay, they actually don't have rights to their best horse, which is Deep Impact, which is a horse that I really wanted to include on this list, but it didn't feel right. Unfortunately, there was a scandal behind his name, so he's like it's kind of iffy. His owner also doesn't want to give away the rights for him to be used within the anime, but he's like the GOAT. He's like the fucking horse, okay? And so that's a whole other thing. I won't get into him. That's for another episode. I think if I do a part 2 to this, I will talk about Deep Impact, just because he's fucking cool. I do have a little special thing later on that is kind of my little tangent tidbit that we'll get into later. But anyways, moving on. We got a lot of horses to cover, so I need to start picking this the fuck up. Anyways, moving on. Next we have Majiro McQueen. Here is a picture of the lovely man. So I think, yeah, he's a boy. He's a little boy horse, and this is his anime counterpart. Gorgeous, beautiful horse. Anyways, Majiro McQueen was foaled in 1987. Majiro was kind of a late bloomer in his career. He didn't actually win any major races until he won the G1 race, the Kikuka show, in autumn of his 3rd year. So he was kind of a little bit of a late bloomer. He started racing, I believe, in his 2nd year. When he was 2 years old. So he really didn't win any races. But then once he started winning, he started fucking winning, right? Over the next 3 years, he continued to pull out really solid wins. This includes 2 Tenno Show wins. That's a G1 race. 1 Takarazuka Kinen win, which is a G1 race. 1 Osaka High win, which is a G1 race. 2 Kyoto Daishoten wins. That's a G2 race. 2 Hanshin Daishoten wins, which is a G2 race. And like, these are all fucking crazy races. So anyways, he was the first horse ever to win the Tenno Show twice in a row, which was an incredible thing. He actually was on course to win it a 3rd time, but was upset by someone we have on our list later. He actually was 2nd place on his 3rd go around. We'll talk about that later. It's going to be exciting. Over the course of his career, which was 21 races, he won over 1 billion yen. So in 21 races, he had 1 billion yen of earnings throughout his entire career. His placement record is 12-6-1. And he's the dam sire of Goldship. So the grandfather
Interesting.
of the mother, or the father of the mother of Goldship. So kind of an interesting little tidbit. The last little thing I want to say about Majiro McQueen, which I found really, really interesting, is that he died on his 19th birthday in 2006. And that's just like crazy to me. It was on his 19th birthday. He lived to be exactly 19 years old. So, little kind of crazy little thing. Yeah. Dude, he was...
Goldship's grandpa.
Goldship's grandpa was fucking killing it, man. And made a great horse out of Goldship. So, oh, man. Anyway, so that's Majiro McQueen. I thought he was kind of interesting just at how incredible he was. Like, winning that many G1 races and winning the Tenno Show twice and almost 3 times in a row was pretty fucking incredible. Like, that's a really, really big deal.
And he had to have done it quick if he was kind of dicking around the first year.
Yeah.
He did all that winning in rapid succession.
Over 3 years. I think he's one of the horses that had a 6-year period. It was a 5 or 6 year career. So that's a pretty good, like, that means that he was in good health. He was running strong. Pretty solid. Yeah, pretty solid. So anyways, moving on, let's talk about your bay, my bay, our bay, Super Creek.
Super Creek.
Yeah, so this is Super Creek. This is how she's represented in the anime. So unfortunately, I wasn't there. There's some of these horses, again, I wasn't able to find a lot of information on them. So there's the little bit that I could get was pretty interesting, though. So he was foaled in 1987. He ran in 18 races and won 8 of them. So he's 50%. He's pretty solid. Pretty good. His major wins include the Kika Show, which is a G1 race, the Kyoto Daishoten, which is a G2 race that he won twice. He won twice at Tenno Show, both in autumn and spring. Those are G1 races. And then he won the Sankai Osaka High, which is a G2 race. He also gave a very notable jockey named Yutaka Take his first G1 win of all time. We're actually going to talk about him a little bit later. So I'll mention him a little bit later. Just keep that name in the back of your head. But going to be kind of interesting. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2010, of which I'm unknown. I don't know if it's natural causes or, it probably was. He would have been, 25? So that's a good long life.
I'm so glad to know my bae had a long life.
So he had a real long life. In the anime, Super Creek is depicted for getting disqualified in a donut eating contest, which is a reference to the 1988 Ari McKinnon, where he was disqualified from that race. So that's the kind of the correlation between the anime and real life. This involved an incident where Super Creek was skewing and blocking the path of a horse named Majiro Duran, and was disqualified from the race and fucking lost. So that's kind of an interesting little tip. That was the interesting little fact I found out about him.
So wait, the horse gets DQ'd for blocking the path of another horse?
Yeah, and I don't understand the ruling exactly. This is one of those things that, like, I'm not 100% on the facts or how that. This is one of those that I again, because there just wasn't a lot of information. I tried looking into it a little bit more, but yeah, for some reason he got DQ'd. I don't really understand the rules. Again, I probably should have done a little bit on restrictions.
Yeah.
Maybe for part 2, I'll save that, or we'll talk about the restrictions stuff. But I was like, I have a lot of fucking shit to talk about horse-wise. There's a lot of horses because we're like we just reached the halfway point of this list. So I was like, all right, we'll fucking whatever. So we'll save it for another time. But yeah, so he did get disqualified. I don't really know how that incident happened or why, but so all right.
Go Super Creek.
Yeah.
I just gotta put this on record. Once again, another thing on the record today.
Sure.
The horse is not as hot as the girl. I'm glad that's on the record.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. We needed to make sure the audience knew that. Absolutely. Oh, my God. All right. Next up, number 7 in the paddocks is Tokai Teo. Fuck, I can't say that name. Tokai Teo. This is the horse, Tokai Teo. And here is how
big boy.
He is represented in the anime. Now,
she's like one of the smaller ones, and he looks like a big boy.
I know, right? That's a chunky horse. Tokai Teo was foaled in 1988. He was sired by the Triple Crown winner, Symboli Rudolph, who is not on this list this time, but I really want to include him in the next one. His major wins include the Satsuki Show, the Tokyo Yushin, which is known as the Japanese Derby, which is a G1 race, the Osaka High, the Japan Cup, which again, that's that big race, and the Ari McKinnon. He won Japanese Horse of the Year and the JRA Award for the Best 3-Year-Old Colt in 1991. He was also inducted into the Japanese Racing Association Hall of Fame in 1995. So really, really popular horse, won a lot of really impactful races. I feel like the Japan Cup is like, that's the Super Bowl. You win that and you're goated for life, right? Incredibly though, he dealt with many injuries during his career because of his overwhelming race abilities. Like he was actually just so strong and such a powerful and like the abilities that he had were so like, he was a fucking strong horse and it ended up injuring him. So he actually ended up spending a lot of time being rested. His longest period of rest was nearly a year. And he actually still managed to come back and win after that year long of rest at the Ari McKinnon. And that rest span apparently was about 364 days long. So just 1 day shy of a year. So like he was out, but apparently he was injured quite a bit. Just due to his overwhelming abilities. Like he would just fucking race so hard that he would fuck himself up, which is kind of incredible. So one of the little interesting things, and if I can remember, I'll throw up a little video here. We'll see if I remember. We'll see. Teo was known for, both in real life and in the anime, for having this little trot that he would do. It's a bit of a dressage step. And that the fans sort of dubbed it the Teo step. It's this sort of funny little like bouncing kind of trot that he does. He would do it while walking into his paddock. And this is replicated in the show, which I found quite interesting. It's very cute. It honestly is pretty funny watching this big horse kind of like pop up and down. Pretty cool stuff though. But I picked him because he's kind of the fan, or one of the fan favorites. Is just a very popular horse, both in the anime and also just in general. Very, very strong horse. So yeah. Pretty neat.
Dude, he looks like a monster.
Yeah, that's an older picture too. That's him in 2000. So that's an older picture.
So he was like a couple years old there?
Couple years old. He's retired, put on some weight, you know.
Okay, so he's older, out of his prime.
He's out of shape, yeah.
Okay, that's a retirement gut. I'll give him a pass. Yeah. He earned it. Yeah. He earned it.
I want to say that is into the, Anyways, but yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Anyways, moving on to your bay. Matuszynski. Here we go.
Time to go.
It's time. All right. Here is a picture of Matuszynski. And here is Matuszynski represented in the anime or in the game as well. Look at that.
Mad.
He looks
aerodynamic.
Yeah. Oh, man. So let's talk about Matuszynski. Is a very interesting case. So Matuszynski was foaled in 1974. He's the oldest horse on this list, I believe. He was extremely successful. He was so successful that he won every single Japanese race that he ran in. Okay. I need to really, really talk about this because this is some impressive stuff. He did win the Asahi High Sansei Stakes, which is one of the listed races. I don't believe it was a graded race. I'd have to double check on that. And when he won by such like massive gaps that it wasn't even a competition. He earned the nickname Supercar. Unfortunately, this is where we start getting into the unfortunate aspects. He was never able to race in the Japanese Triple Crown. He was barred from competing due to the fact that he was brought in from abroad. Okay,
as a fetus.
Yes. Well, so no, I think he was actually brought in. I don't know where he was born, but I think he was born. I don't know how that was. He? Do you know that for a fact?
Okay, I can't say that I know for a fact, but I swear when I read it, it said that the mother flew out of Japan to wherever the dad was, got filled up, and then she flew back home and had the baby. Oh, and they were like, doesn't count.
Damn, interesting.
I could be lying. Sorry if I'm lying.
No, I don't know. I don't know exactly why either. This is one of those things that I just found it interesting that he wasn't able to compete. But I know that it was because he was brought over from abroad. Yeah,
made all the rest of them look bad.
let me talk about this. So he raced in 8 Japanese races. He finished first in all 8. The smallest margin that he won by was 2.5 lengths. He won multiple times by distance, and the second smallest margin that he won by was 7 lengths. So this motherfucker won when he raced. He was impressive, okay? Not only was he impressive, he was fucking, okay? Supposedly the number of children he sired, this is one of those numbers that I don't know how accurate it is. Supposedly he sired 998 children. So he had a lot of fucking babies. Okay,
boy.
He was fucking. He is the broodmare sire is the granddad of the mom. That was the one I was looking for. Granddad of the mom. He's the broodmare sire of Special Week and Rice Shower. Those are just 2. So those, and we already heard about Special Week. So pretty impressive. Unfortunately, in 1997, he suffered a heart attack and passed away. There was a funeral held 3 days later where his mom, the horse that gave birth to him, was still alive and attended. So his mom.
My heart, dude. Yeah, my heart.
As of right now, 7 of the horse girls that are in the game are real life descendants of Marazinski.
Goddamn right.
I'm pretty sure that number is accurate. So, pretty interesting. I mean, it's one of those things, man, where like this horse could have had such an interesting path if he had been given the chance to actually like go even further. You know what I mean? Like if he would have been able to race against some of those like top contenders of his time, I feel like he probably would have been even more successful because he was so fucking good, right? I mean, just look, because he was one of the ones that I got to actually look at the numbers. He was fast and he was good and he was winning by a lot.
Did you have a total number of races?
8. He won 8 and raced 8 in Japan. Oh, total in his career? No, I only looked at the Japanese ones.
8 of 8 in Japan.
Yeah.
He came in and cleaned their plate and left, dude.
He was good. Again, it's one of those things where if he had gotten to race in some of the higher stakes races, oh man, he would have fucking
He'd have won the Tokyo Cup. Easy.
Yeah. It's the Japan Cup. Okay.
Oh
my God.
So close.
You know nothing about horse race.
I know about my bae Maruzinski.
There you go.
I don't honestly know why. That was like the first one that just stood out to me. She's cool with her red, and then her Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift ultimate move.
Yeah,
just like, dude, she's cool. And then I started doing a little research. Like, no, she's real cool.
Yeah. A lot of these horses, man, it's interesting to see how they were interacting with other horses, or because some of these horses raced against each other. Some of these horses were, around the same time, kind of active around the same time. And then some of them had just like really, really impressive wins, including our next horse, which we'll move on to. So 9th on the list is Sakura Bakushin 0. Yes. So Sakura was foaled in 1989. He was given the name the Sprint King due to him being a specialized sprinter. Now, this is what I found most interesting about him. He ran in 12 sprint races and won 11 of them. Okay. He also ran in 9 1-mile races and won 0 of them. He was fucking terrible in the mile. He was incredible in the sprint. He won his major wins in sprint races were the Sprinters Stakes, which he won twice in a row. This is a G1 race. He won the Lord Derby Challenge Trophy, which is a G3, and the Swan Stakes, which is a G2. He also won the JRA Award for Best Sprinter or Miler in 1994, obviously for his sprinting abilities.
Right.
The last little factoid I have about him, because again, this was another horse, I couldn't find too much about him. That was particularly...
Did you find a picture?
Oh, yes, I did. Fuck, I keep forgetting. Thank you. And I'm gonna continue forgetting. This is Sakura. Beautiful, beautiful horse. And
wow.
This is how he is represented in the anime right there. So there you go. Pretty interesting. Pretty beautiful horses. But the last thing, supposedly he sired about 1,569 children. Yeah.
Oh,
he was
what?
Fucking yes. Yeah. I had to double check that number. I was like, really? So
They said
supposedly,
we want some of the Sprint King.
yes, you have to understand that like these horses will run their races, they'll win these major events, and then they start fucking. They're put out to stud. We'll get into a little bit of. I didn't find fees for everyone, but I did find fees for at least one of the horses. It's
Yeah.
pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty interesting. Just the way that it's kind of the industry and the way it happens, where it's like you want this one horse fucking. I think a lot of this happens over a number of years. Obviously, like I don't think they're fucking every day. But it was just interesting. And again, that's one of those numbers I don't know the accuracy of, but it was one that I found that I was like, oh, fuck, if that's true, that's, pretty fucking incredible.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I do know that some of the numbers are pretty high up there. So that it would make sense. Although I don't know the exact number, I should say.
Put in the work, King.
Yeah. So anyways, again, that's really all I found about Sakura. We're going to move on. I will remember the picture this time. There's so many pictures I have. Holy fuck. We're moving on to another horse that I really like. This was my personal pick. Of course, that's not the picture that I want to throw in there yet. This picture is of Rice Shower. So we talked about Special Week earlier. Now we're talking about Rice Shower. Here's a picture of the horse. And then shortly after that will be a picture of how he is represented in the anime. So Rice Shower was foaled in 1989. This is another horse that has a very incredible kind of story, but also a very sad one. His name refers to the tradition of throwing rice at a wedding for good luck. His first race, which he won, was the Fuyo Stakes in 1991. Which pretty impressive. From there, he would continue to pick up several major wins. This includes the Kikuka Show, which is a G1 in 92, the Nikkei Show in 93, which is a G2 race, and then he won the Tenno Show, which is a G1 race. He won that twice. He won that in 93, and then he won it again in 95. He went winless in 1994. But he had a really good start of 95 with winning the Tenno Show. And unfortunately, during the Takarazuka Kinen, he fell and he suffered a fatal front left leg fracture, which resulted in him having to be euthanized. Pretty sad stuff, man. Yeah, I hate it. It sucks. But so he had a career of 25 races. His placements were 6, 5, and 2. So pretty solid all around.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, not terrible. But the main thing I wanted to talk about Rice Shower was his ability to cause upsets. His two most major upsets were against Mihono Bourbon at Kika Show. Kika Show is one leg of the Triple Crown. The year that he won the Kika Show was the year that Mihono Bourbon had won the 2 legs of the Triple Crown. Rice Shower foiled those plans. The other upset was taking first place from Majiro McQueen at what would have been his 3rd Tenno Show win.
So he did it twice.
He did it twice. Yes.
Dude.
He was kind of a badass for that. So he did just some of the most major upsets in racing or in Japanese horse racing history, which I found incredible. I was like, what an incredible, like, that being like a notation of your career is pretty fantastic.
Rice Shower, Agent of Chaos.
Agent of Chaos, yes. Coming in from behind, that first place win at Tenno Show to beat out Majiro McQueen is kind of, because it's one of those things where, like, it's impressive that he got to do that. It would have also been impressive if Majiro McQueen had won that 3rd Tenno Show. Both would have been just incredible. Anyways, we got to move on. I want to try and keep this moving. We're on good pace, and I will show you the next horse on this list being this beautiful, big, dumb bastard being Gold Ship. So here is Gold Ship, the horse, and how
Look at
Gold
the
Ship,
meat on that horse.
yeah, is represented in the anime. I have a lot to... So Gold Ship was honestly the horse I was most excited to talk about. I found a lot of information about other horses. I found probably the most information about Gold Ship. This is going to be one of our last horses that we talk about. So Gold Ship was foaled in 2009. And he's very, very well known for his unpredictable temperament, which is reflected in his careers, with major wins being interspersed with inexplicably poor placements. His record of he raced in 28 races, with a placement record of 13 3 and 2. So really fucking solid.
Really good.
And he was insanely incredible. Like, he was just wildly talented. When he would win dominantly, and he won some big races. The first two races I want to talk about are the first and third leg of the Japanese Triple Crown, that being the Satsuki Show and the Kikuka Show. That's fucking nuts, the fact that he almost won the Japanese Triple Crown. Other notable wins include the Kyoto Tushin High, which is a G3 race. Of course, he won the Satsuki Show, which is a G1 race. He won the Kobe Shimbun High race, which is a G2. He won the Kikuka Show race, which is a G1. He won the Ari McKinnon, which is a G1. He won the Hanshin Daishoten, which is a G2 race. He won that 3 times. He won the Tenno Show, which is a G1 race. He also won the Takarazuka Kinen, which is a G1 race, and he won that bitch twice. Now, let's talk about that last race, the Takarazuka Kinen. Gold Ship is the first and only horse to record 2 victories at the Takarazuka Kinen, and he achieved them back to back. He won them back to back. That is easily one of the most impressive feats of any horse on this list. Like, that's a fucking incredible thing. He's the only horse to ever do that. He was retired in 2015 at the age of 6. In 2012, he won the JRA Best 3-Year-Old Colt Award. The same year of his retirement was the year of the 12 billion yen incident. For those of you who don't know, Gold Ship was favorite to win a particular race that we just talked about, the Takarazuka Kinen. This was his 3rd race. This was the 3rd one that he was the favorite of this race. They were like, he's going to win. He's going to get this 3rd win. It's going to be awesome. And he would have set like one of the most impressive precedents in Japanese horse racing history. That didn't happen. In the paddock, Gold Ship was very restless, and he ended up rearing up as the gates opened, which resulted in him placing just awfully. He placed 15th of 16 horses. The incident has gone down in infamy and is a testament to Gold Ship's unpredictable nature. And the reason it's called the 12 billion yen incident is due to the amounts that were wagered on him to win, being roughly 12 billion yen. It's fucking incredible that this should happen. The incident was recreated in the 3rd OVA of season 1 of the anime. If I remember, I have a video. I'll throw it up here and you'll get to see it. Pretty fucking crazy. That was probably the most interesting, like, holy shit. The fact that he had such an incredible career, but would just he was just kind of like a fuck up and was like, I don't care about this shit. And I think
in the 3rd leg, the most important race, everything. Dude, imagine all those people that bet their money thinking it's easy. The gate kicks open and they just sit there and have to slowly watch him trot around in second to last place, watching their bank account go down.
The announcer, the female announcer, this is a story that I've heard. I didn't get a chance to confirm it. The female announcer that was announcing for that race actually gasped when it happened, and I think she almost got fired or fined for bias. They thought that it was bias rather than surprise, and so that was kind of an interesting kind of tidbit. But when you watch the video, she's like, she screams because it's just so fun. I mean, he's literally bucking up in his paddock and then rears up. Anyways, it's just very interesting. Oh God, what a race. But so he could have set a precedent of winning 3 Takarazuka Kinens which has never been done. And no one has still won a second Takarazuka Kinen. So he still holds that record. And it's just an overall incredibly impressive horse. But anyway, so that was just interesting.
So how did Goldship meet his end?
Well, we'll get to that, but first I want to talk about actually he hasn't met his end yet.
Yay!
He's still alive. He's one of the only horses on this list who's still alive.
And how old is he now?
He was born in 2009, so do the math.
He's not even that old then.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's still studding. So he's still alive, currently studding. I'll talk about that in just a second. But first, I wanted to mention very quickly, he had a reputation for biting and kicking his trainers. There's numerous pictures of him biting and kicking people, which is reflected in the game when when Goldship places in first. The anime character will sometimes drop kick the player, which I find adorable. That's great. Love that. Goldship is still alive and currently a stud. Some of his most notable offspring, or one of his most notable offspring. He has many because he's bred some pretty impressive children. But the one that I wanted to personally mention is a horse named Meisho Tabaru, who has won the Takarazuka Kinen. So there you go. That in spirit, he has won his third one through his child, right?
Oh,
carrying on the legacy.
The bloodline.
The bloodline wins.
That's right.
Last thing I wanted to mention, which is one of the most interesting things that I found. Supposedly his stud fee is currently 4 million yen. So you got to pay the big fucking bucks if you want to see this motherfucker race. I want to say too that he won like roughly, I think just under, his earnings were like just under or at 1 billion yen. Like he won a lot. Very impressive horse. Very fucking impressive horse. So yeah, pretty crazy shit. All right. We're getting close to wrapping up. I wanted to take a little sidebar. Goldship. I want to take a little sidebar. We're going to take, before we close this bitch out, I want to take a little moment to talk about a particular human. Okay. Now the horses are the impressive ones, right? The horses are these, incredible animals that are bred for this one specific thing. Okay. And the first 6 horses that I mentioned, to remind you, that being Air Groove, Oguri Cap, Silent Suzuka, Special Week, Majiro McQueen, and Super Creek were all ridden by a certain jockey. Because you have to understand, it's a 2-part dance, this thing. You have the horses, but then you also have the jockey. And I wanted to talk about a particular jockey that I came across in my research. He was basically unavoidable. He's Japan's top jockey. His name, and I have a picture of him, is Yutaka Take. Okay, this is him. All right, pretty swell guy. All right, that's him.
He looks like the happiest guy,
dude. Let me fucking tell you why he's so happy. Okay, so not only were the first 6 horses ridden, and you'll remember that I mentioned Super Creek. I believe it was. Yes, Super Creek.
I'd smile like that if I got to ride Super Creek.
He got to ride Super Creek, and Super Creek brought him his first G1 win. But let's talk about this motherfucker's career, because when I started doing research, I was like, holy shit. This man, for 23 years in a row, from the beginning of his career to, which started, I believe, in the 80s, up until 2010, for 23 years in a row, won at least one Grade 1 race every fucking year. Okay. For 23 years straight. Let me put that in, let me say that again. He won at least one Grade 1 race for 23 years straight until 2010. In his 39-year career, he has won a graded stakes race every year. He doesn't ever not win at least one graded race, which is, I don't know if that's coming across how fucking impressive that is. Okay.
How many races does he do in a year to help
We'll talk about that. Because
that's going to help it land how much winning he's done.
It's hundreds.
Oh, he's racing hundreds.
In some years, he's racing hundreds. So he debuted in 1987.
There's only 365 days in a year.
Yeah. He debuted in 1987, and he currently holds 7 all-time records in Japan. Those all-time records being the most Japan Cup wins, which is 5, the consecutive graded stakes wins, which is for 39 years, the JRA Jockey Awards, which is 18, the highest career earnings, which is 971 million US dollars. That's not in yen, that's in US fucking dollars. I had to double check that.
He's won almost $1 billion.
Almost $1 billion. He has won the Japanese Triple Crown, which was once in 2005. He's the oldest Japanese Derby winner, which he won at the age of 53. He has the most Ari McKinnon wins, which is tied at 4. What the fuck? This guy's crazy. His other notable achievements, he has the most victories of any jockey in a single year, that being 212. And he's
212 first
wins.
Place.
First place wins. First most victories, first place finishes, 212 in a single year. Okay, this guy is working nights and weekends. Okay, holy
he
shit.
spends more time on a horse than on his bed.
Yeah, he won 69. Or, I'm sorry, he rode 69 winners in his rookie season, meaning that he won on 69 different horses in his first season. And he's the youngest jockey to achieve 100 wins. This guy's fucking crazy. Now, quick little side note, he's actually in the anime. Here's him in the anime. He is a commentator in the anime, which I thought was really cool. One of the things I should have looked up, again, hindsight's 2020. One of the things I really should have looked up was if he voiced him, but I'm not too sure on that.
I feel like that would be a more well-known thing.
Yeah, it's just not something I really thought to look at. I don't think it is, but it's just interesting that he is in there. Anyways, Take is still racing to this day at the age of 56, and he is still winning. His most recent major win was, this race keeps coming up, the Takarazuka Kinen in 2025. He won it this fucking year. Yeah, I think it was in May. This guy is still fucking killing it. He's also a strong international competitor. He has 114 wins across 8 countries, including Australia, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Korea, the United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, and the United States. And to wrap it up, despite him being like think about all of that, right? Think about all of that, what we just talked about, all that incredible shit. Despite all of those achievements, despite him being Japan's premier jockey, he could not win with the horse that is finishing off our list, coming in last place as usual. Harurara. In her 106th race, the pair finished 10th out of 11 horses. Now let's talk about her. Let's talk about our last place finisher.
Give me some more picks.
You can't have her finish in anything. This is her most recent picture. I think this was 2021. So she's an old girl in this picture, sweet girl. This is how she's represented, or at least this is one of the most recent pictures that I found. This is how she's represented in the anime. Let's talk about her. I have a ton of, funnily enough, I have a weird amount of information about her. So she was foaled in 1996. And she is famous for never fucking winning. She has a record of 0 wins in 113 career races spanning from 1998 to 2004. She was sired by, Nippo Teo. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Who is a top class racehorse with wins in the Tenno Sho and the Yasuda Kennen. Those are both G1 races. So yeah, she had a really strong dad.
She got the blood.
Yes. So I mentioned too, Gold Ship, I believe, won just about $1 billion. I want to say it was either just under. No. I'm sorry. I was wrong about this. Gold Ship won 1.4 billion yen over the course of his career. Yes, which was okay. Sorry, I have this written down. My brain is going. I'm sunsetting. That's what it is. Her career earnings were only 1.1 million yen. And to put that into perspective, a horse like Goldship won 1.4 billion yen over the course of a 28 race career, right? 113 wins 1 million yen in earnings. 28 races, wins 1.4 billion yen, right? Ugh. Okay. Anyways, in 2003, after her 80th loss, the national Japanese media picked up her story and made her a household name. She quickly gained popularity and became known as the Makegumi no Hoshi, or the shining star of losers everywhere. During this boom, Haru Urara, I'm just going to refer to as Haru, betting tickets began to be used as umamori, which are Japanese amulets usually sold at Shinto shrines or Buddhist temples as protection from traffic accidents. The word ataranai, can mean both to lose a bet and to avoid being struck. So there you go. Because of this, the tickets were said to protect owners from their cars being hit. An interesting little story. In 2004, there were 13,000 spectators that showed up to the Kochi racetrack about 30 minutes before the track opened and forced the gates open. People waited in line for 5+ hours to buy tickets at the Haru Urara commemorative ticket booth, which was established especially for the event. Fans bet an impressive 121,751,200 yen, which equates to 800. I'm sorry. I think I might have wrote this down wrong, because it equates to, oh no, I do have it right. That 121 million equates to $825,448,000. And so for Haru to win, they bet for her to win.
All this bet on the horse. All they know he's going to lose.
They know he's going to lose. And of course she lost. And also, this was the race where Yutaka Take couldn't win. This was kind of that was like the kind of, I feel like the selling point of like, we have the best fucking jockey riding this girl.
Could be it. This could be the one.
It was not the one. It was not the one. Yes.
That's
so anyways,
so funny.
She was known internationally. And images of her were sold in a number of products, ranging from stuffed toys all the way to bras. I found that very interesting, that there were bras sold with her on it. The horse, not the character, because this is 2004. You got to remember.
Like a realistic image of that horse on your bra?
She had like kind of a symbol. It was just like an outline of her, I feel like. Oh. But I didn't really get to see a lot of the
like the Air Jordan logo, but the losing horse.
Yeah. Exactly.
On my bra. Sounds awesome, honestly.
There was a ton of, I mean, she had shirts, shoes, all these other things, but there's a ton of stuff. Anyways, she officially retired in 2004, and while she never won a race, she did come close, with her placement record being 0, 5, and 7. So she did have 5 second place places, as well as 7 third place placements. You know, so she damn near got close, that's for sure. Post-retirement, there was plans for her to be bred with the Triple Crown winner Deep Impact, but those never came to fruition. She ended up being part of a PR campaign for the traffic safety, for traffic safety within the Kisarazu Police Department, and she was used on posters. And she was actually given a letter of thanks for cooperation with traffic safety by the police department in Chiba. So the Kisarazu Police Department gave her a little thank you letter. So this is something interesting that I found. So
okay, can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what the thought process behind we're gonna breed Deep Impact with Haru? It seems like our winningest horse and our losingest horse. This is the right move. Okay.
I don't know, and I think that might have contributed, because there was another horse. There was a couple other horses that they were planning to breed with, and I think just because she was, like, you think about Goldship,
a symbol.
Well, no, you think about the genes. So like, Nipoteo was an incredibly strong horse.
I gotcha.
And won a couple G1 races. So you think about those genetics mixed with like a Triple Crown winner. It may not be the best combination, but if her stable was willing to pay that price, because the thing about it is like from what I understand is you pay the stud fee. The mares, the brood mares, depending on their quality, I think may have a fee as well. But like the way that that's organized, I'm not 100%. But if they, what I would assume is that if her
Dude,
owners were willing
it's all
to pay
horse
the
prostitution. I just realized.
yeah, truly, truly. I was gonna say if her owners were willing to pay the stud fee, then that just would have been something that would have just happened, you know. But
Pay
those
the
were
fee,
like
get the
yeah,
dick.
yeah. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, kind of pretty much. But yeah, from what I understand, if you pay the fee, you get that day. So there you go. Anyways, so we talked about on the last episode how there was a tweet put out by her owner saying that she had won a race. Turns out that she had actually won a race in 2019.
Okay.
In 2019, she ran in the first Soft Girls Gathering, which is a time trial race for older horses. The race, and now this is where it gets a little confusing. The race was a G3 distance of 16 seconds, which is roughly 400 meters. Yes, I had to look that up, and I'm not sure how accurate that is in terms of the distancing, but it's roughly a 400 meter race. So pretty short, not very long. And Haru finished first with a time of 16.54 seconds. Woo, so that is her
Haru.
actual, that was her actual first ever win. That was in 2019. Pretty interesting stuff. And a lot of these are like old retired. Like I think one of them is a mini horse that was pulling a cart. She
Best
fucking
girl.
killed it. There's actually a YouTube video. I wish I would have kept the link, but there's a YouTube video that is completely in Japanese that talks about that. Pretty interesting stuff. Anyways, after being anthropomorphized into the show, she was portrayed as having a bright and bubbly can-do personality, sort of can-do attitude, never giving up, always being happy no matter what. And while the anime version is still running in the Umamusume games and anime, the real-life Haru is happily retired, or happily enjoying retirement at the ripe old age of 29. She is living in Matha Farms in Chiba. And if at any point in time, Kirby, I will give you this link, but this will be in the description below. If at any point in time you would like to learn more about our dear Haru, here is a link to a documentary that was filmed by ESPN's 3030 called The Shining Star of Losers Everywhere. It's a 30-minute documentary that goes over the life of Haru up until 2004, being the most losingest horse. I didn't get a chance to watch it last night, but it's pretty interesting stuff.
Looks great.
Anyways, that's it, man. That's our horses. That's my list. That's our video. That's our episode. I went longer than I anticipated. I honestly was like, man, I don't even think I'm going to make it 45 minutes, but here we go.
I remember.
So, yeah.
Dude, so cool. What an inspiring story. All these horses.
All these horses, man.
Their perseverance.
Yeah, there were some horses
winning pedigrees.
Yeah, most of them, not all of them.
Their willingness to breed.
Yeah, and it's there were some horses, man, that like I would go off on a tangent and like start researching other horses based on like horses that they like. Deep Impact was one of them. Who was the other girl that won the one that won the Triple Crown? Simboli Rudolph was another one that I was like, man, I really wish I would have gotten to do some more information about her. But again, I just kind of ran out of time with my research, and also the list was long enough as it was. It was 12 horses plus. And again, like I found that guy, Yutaka Take, and I was like, this guy's fucking crazy. This guy's cracked out of his mind. He's racing like a maniac. So yeah, it was a really cool topic. He's still going, dude. 56. He won this year. Oh man, I think he actually was gonna break the Arima Kinen record, he was gonna break his or add another Takarazuka Kinen. No. There was some race I think he was gonna win or race in on June 1st. And he would have broken his record. I think it was the R.M. McKinnon. I don't remember. Anyways, and it would have been his, it would have been even more wins. I don't remember. This guy is fucking. He would have done it too. He didn't do it.
He
It was some
could've.
other guy that won. He could have. He almost maybe tried. I don't know what his placement was. But I looked it up and I was like, oh, he didn't win. That's why I didn't include it in the list. Oh, man. But yeah, that was that, man. Any closing thoughts?
That was, man, I love this game. I
Yeah.
hate that I love this game. It's so stupid. And every day, my wife is giving me shit. All my friends giving me shit. My coworkers giving me shit. But god damn it, these horses are cool.
I just said they just don't know how fucking cool these horses are. That's
They
the
just don't
issue.
know. They just
They
don't
don't
know.
know. Rest in
I
peace
start
to most of the
spouting
list.
facts about Haru Rara at work, and they just look at me like I'm an asshole. So
They listen. Put them onto this episode.
maybe if I showed up wearing the official Haru Urara bra.
Maybe not. You don't. You don't have to wear the bra. There's other merch of her.
No, I'm going with the bra.
Oh shit. Oh man. Anyways, well, closing out. I hope you enjoyed how wacky this was. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know of this list of 12 horses what your favorite horse was. If you're on Spotify, can you comment on Spotify? I don't know how that works. If you're on Spotify, you
There's
can't see
video,
this shit anyways.
There's comments. There's a poll. There's so much going on Spotify.
Dude, as far as I'm concerned, Spotify
There's
is
also
the
other platforms that we never mentioned.
Spotify is the fucking Stone Age. If you're listening to us on Amazon, shout out to you. If you're listening to us on Apple Music, if that got fixed, cool. If whenever this goes up eventually.
Congrats if you're listening to us on Apple. That means
That's
I got that problem fixed.
If you're listening to us on ham radio, that's impressive too. I don't know how you're
That's
getting that.
fucking impressive.
Didn't realize we were broadcasting this shit.
Is that the beep, 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 beep,
That's
beep,
the
beep?
big
That's that one?
knobs. No, that's the fucking telegraph or whatever. That's Morse code.
Yeah, we should probably stop trying to spout history facts here. We've gotten a lot of misinformation spread today.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Anyways, rest in peace to our Dark Lord Ozzy Osbourne. Fuck, man. Ugh.
You think he's in hell?
If he is, he's ruling it.
I'm saying like he was the Prince of Darkness, man. He's probably in hell, chilling.
But he's like, it's cool for him. Like other people go to hell.
Satan had a throne for him. waiting.
Yes. Satan's like, come here, buddy. Come
Been
here, my
waiting for ya.
son. Yeah. Man. Anyways, we would love to talk to you about our horse branded bras, the Princes of Darkness, and running a G1 race in your ripe old age as you're retired, because fuck it, why not? Live your dreams. But we're too busy bucking in the paddocks and losing all of our money. So we're going to leave it here. And I think that was time well meant.
I have been dialed in to this drama.
Communication is alpha.